Hello, family, and welcome to Thriving Couples by the Dindies,
the place where we keep marriage real, fun, and fulfilling.
Karibuni sana. It's going to be a beautiful show today. The single folks have been asking us about when we'll consider them mtukumbuke.
Tumewakumbuka. Today is your day.
So today we'll start with looking at some of the things to avoid when you're thinking about a potential partner.
Stay tuned.
All right, here we go. So recently, Esigal here wrote a very interesting piece. She titled it, The 7 Types of Men to Avoid when you're thinking of getting a marriage partner. And so today we're going to start by looking at those 7. And for the gentlemen, don't worry. Next week, I'll be talking about the 7 types of ladies to avoid. So, kuna equity.
There's balance. You do not need to be worried.
Yes. And so today we're going to start by looking at those 7 types of men. We've played around with words. As the Dindies, we really love wordplay. So there's some alliteration around the names and all. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this. Take it away.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the disrespectful David. So watch out for how a man treats his mom. If a man disrespects his mother for whatever reason, my dear, he will eviscerate you in due time. Epuka kama moto wa Jehanamu. Watch how he treats people below him, the cleaners, security guards, etc. If he shows disdain to the lowly, he harbors a malignancy of character that will metastasize and destroy you. Disrespectful.
I like the play of the words, especially malignancy.
Metastasis.
Yes. And maybe just to explain to those people who are not medical, when you're talking about malignancy, these are those cancerous cells.
Yes.
It starts as one cell, but it really grows and it causes death, like it overtakes the normal cells. So when it spreads, we call that metastasizing, meaning somebody of this character, he might be disrespecting a few people, people who are lowly in his view. But the truth is, he has disrespect as a way of doing life. And it's only a matter of time before he starts disrespecting you as well.
And I think when I posted this, lady left a comment that, hey, there are some people who treat their mothers well, but will treat their spouses unwell or with disrespect. But really, I would say in such cases, you realize that the mother-son relationship is actually one of codependency, and it's not a healthy one either. So it's not really true respect. It's actually what I would call in many times emotional incest. But let's move on to the next one. This is the Roving Raymond. Number 2 is Roving Raymond. Now, ladies, if a man is with you, but his eyes follow every ample bottom, the nyash that passes by, toroka kabisa. Achana naye. A roving eye today will be a wandering hand tomorrow. And finally, a globe-trotting member. These are the amorous guys.
And you know, sometimes people notice some things before they get married. And then for some reason, they assume that someone will change. And I think if there's one thing that has led many ladies into trouble, is this mindset that nitabadilisha huyu jamaa.
Hakuna kitu kama hiyo.
So a thug before marriage just becomes a married thug. And so if somebody is having a roving eye, they're very undisciplined with their loins, nothing is going to change.
That is very true. And I think I would add that, I mean, you could be somewhere, someone walks into the room, a supermodel. It's okay if someone turns and looks at them. That's normal. But the problem is the eye that lingers, you know. You start staring, literally undressing them with your eyes. That is the biggest problem. So beware of the Roving Raymond. The third one is Proud Patrick. This is the dude whose ego is bigger than Kenyans' appetite for foreign loans. You know what I mean, Kenyans? This is a man who never says, I am sorry. Must win every argument, has to have the last word. Huyu ni close relative wa Iblis. Run away, sister, run away. If a man has more money in his account than kindness in his heart, run away, my dear. Trust me. You need kindness more than the money. Money is good, but you need the kindness more than the money.
Yeah, I think that's a very, I love that quote. Yeah, that if somebody has more money in his account than kindness in his heart, you don't want anything to do with this person.
Yeah.
And I think in many situations in life, the way we do marriage, a kind heart goes a long way.
A long way.
And it's one of the things that really makes marriages worth having. So when there are issues, and issues will always arise, you'd really want to have a man that has kindness in his heart.
Because then with someone without kindness, it's very hard to connect with them emotionally. And emotional connection and intimacy is just awesome. And the fourth one is Blubbering Billy. If a dude is always talking and hardly listens to you, or only listens to respond and not to understand, run for the mountains, Jerry. Run, dear Mwende, please run. The first sign of true love is actually a listening ear. Never waste time with someone who only loves hearing himself talk. If you have no voice now, you will have no life in marriage. Because if he can't listen to you now, it will get worse in marriage and you'll not be able to contribute to that marriage. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think this is a big one. This is a big one because the only way you get to understand each other is when you talk and listen to each other. Communication is a key part of a relationship. And so if somebody is really poor at communication, meaning they don't really understand the art of engaging with a different person, they're not keen to listen, then it's only a matter of time before trouble sets in paradise. So I think it's important before marriage, as we've mentioned, there are things not to ignore.
Yeah.
And this is a big one. So if you notice that somebody is always talking, never listens, that is a huge red flag. Yeah, please, ladies, it's not a pink flag.
It is red.
Yeah, don't discolor it because your emotions are in play. If somebody is not listening to you now, they will truly not give you an ear when you're married, and you'll be in a lot of trouble. So it's important to think through this one. And usually, I remember there's a time we were talking about the importance of not getting horizontal very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that we're dating while vertical, not dating while horizontal.
And to get to know someone.
Get to know someone. Yeah, so when you're talking, ask them questions. Notice how they listen. Notice the kind of questions they ask.
Yeah.
Because that will tell you, are they really interested in you? If someone is really interested in you, they will be listening keenly, and you will notice that they are able to regurgitate back to you some of the things you've said. You'll notice that they were paying attention. Something you said maybe last time, this time they took note. So those little things, the little nuances that will go into making a relationship worth having, those are critical.
Because it's true, some people talk much more to cover, so they control the conversation and they will not let you ask them questions, and you don't really get to know them for sure. So anyway, let's move on to number 5, is the Sly Simon. This is the smooth talking baby-faced assassin. He has a heart stocked with fury, but a tongue laced with chocolate. Ooh, and girls love chocolate. The briars of this world, he erupts in anger, but comes back with sweet words and many gifts. Anger reveals the state of the heart. Better believe this person that shows up in anger, that's the real them. Don't excuse them blaming it on alcohol or stress or whatever, koso, as my mom would say. So it's very good to be wary. I tell people that you shouldn't get married until you've seen someone angry, because that's when you really see their true colors. What did you say about Sly Simon?
Yeah, I think amongst the things that ladies fall for many times, smooth words. The guys who are gifted lyricists, for some reason, mistari, as we like to say, yeah, mistari huingiza watu kwa box.
It works if you use them well.
Yeah, so we here love to say, listen to what someone does, not what they say. Because what they do will tell you truly whom they are from inside.
So we listen with our eyes open.
Yes. Yeah. Listen with your eyes open. And as we say, when someone shows you who they are, first time, believe
them.
Yes. And so you can always notice, is there congruence between what somebody says and what somebody does? And the ladies, ask yourself, how does this person make you feel? The things they do, how do those make you feel? Because that is a true barometer of where your relationship will go over time. And so do not ignore what somebody does because you love what they say. And it's important to have that dynamic so that there is a very clear congruence between those things they tell you, the consistency that we usually mention. Are they consistent in their words and their actions? Do not ignore the actions. They're much more important than the words.
So you say, do not ignore what someone does because you love what they say.
Yes.
I love that. Quote by His Highness.
Quotation.
Okay, number 6 is hit it, hurry. This is the man who just wants coconut. Not the one from the coast. You try to get to know each other, but he pushes you to get physically intimate so as to show your love, quote unquote. If someone cannot love you without pounded yam, what he has is lust in capital letters. He will hit it and run. Ladies, if he can't put a ring on your finger, he shouldn't put a ring on the goodies. So yeah, these are people who are very quick to get horizontal. What do you think about hit it, Harry?
Again, that is a common thing in our current culture. Yeah, where people they just want the physical part of the relationship. So a lot of guys know that if you want to get in bed with a lady, you go through the angle of my feelings, you know, how to stalk the feelings. But really what you want is just a moment of a physical pleasure and move on. And so I think it's important for the ladies to know that if somebody truly cares about you, if somebody really loves you, then they will be patient. In the scriptures, Corinthians 13, that we like to quote about love, one of the aspects of love is patient. So if somebody cannot wait for you, it means they don't truly love you. They're not really interested in you. They're interested in 1%.
And you're just one among many,
yes,
you know.
Yes. We in the medical field, when you say 1%, this is the perennial coconut. So someone is just interested in the 1%. They're not really interested in you. And the sooner you give 1%,
Done
the
deal.
quicker, the person takes off. Actually, it's been shown clearly with research that the earlier you give 1% in a relationship, the less likely that relationship is going to go long term. So it's important to get to know each other, to engage. And we actually really believe sex is exclusive for marriage.
Yeah.
And there are many reasons why it's best handled.
It's actually protective that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Within the context of the covenant relationship of marriage.
And so it's good to have boundaries even around that area, because then it means that if you then notice red flags in the course of the relationship, it's easier to walk away when you've not been connected physically, when you've not pounded the yam. But when you do that, it complicates things, especially for women, because women tend to get emotionally bound when they have, they pound the yam. Anyway, let's just move to Flirting Felix. Flirting Felix, always on the phone in random conversations with ladies, doing what he calls innocent flirting. If someone cannot respect you enough to make your relationship exclusive while courting, you've already decided you're heading towards marriage, he will definitely be cavorting in foreign courts in marriage. Ladies, if you see these signs in a man, run. It doesn't matter how charming he is. If a man cannot respect you, it's a done deal. Never pull a stool to join a table where respect is not served. The Flirting Felix.
I
Because this
love
goes
that
on
quote.
into marriage. Yeah.
I love that quote. What were you thinking about when you're talking of don't pull a stool on a table where respect is not served?
Okay, one, I believe that if you're relating, you're taking things seriously, and someone is actually flirting outside the relationship, I have no problem with the two of you flirting, but it just means that he's being disrespectful. And I think this is something women can overlook, but it will carry on into marriage. These are the same people, living in other women's inboxes while married, and it just shows disrespect. And that flirting is the same way. It will be working on the keyboard, next time they'll be working on the real keyboard on the other side. Yeah.
I get it. And I think the beauty of marriage is really exclusivity. Yeah. So if somebody cannot respect that exclusive, intimate space, it is time kupotea.
Because there's nothing special about it anyway. If it's just like broadcasting, whatever you have. So
Yeah, and I think in this culture, this aspect of innocent flirting has really been stretched. Yeah, so you find people commenting maybe along certain threads, inboxes that you're mentioning. Yeah, people are flooding the DMs.
Yes.
Of other people, and yet they're in an exclusive relationship. And I remember we said here sometime, respect is more important than love.
Yeah.
For relationships. So if somebody cannot have that, really, you should not be giving them your heart.
And some of the ways you can know you're flirting, if you're not comfortable, assume that you're typing a message and your spouse or your partner that you're dating is looking over the phone. If you're not comfortable, continue to type that message and send it away. You know that you're flirting. There's something you're hiding. And when you're hiding, sin grows in secrecy and it will be exposed eventually. But hey, stay away from Flirting Felix.
Yeah, I think there are many other things to watch out for. But the message you wanted to pass, marriage is serious business.
It is.
Yeah, and marriage is for life. And so it's not something you get into lightly. It's important to really think
It's not
through.
casual.
Yeah, you can't be casual about it. I read somewhere recently, someone was saying that the most important decision you'll ever make in your life is the decision of who to marry. And they even took it further and they talked about career. And they said the most important decision you'll make in your career is whom to marry.
Yeah.
Because that still will have a great impact on your professional engagements. And so it's really crucial to think through. Don't be in a hurry. And when there are these red flags, and you can usually see them.
Yes.
Just know,
yes.
hey, hapa kuna issue.
Don't excuse them.
Do not excuse them, because over time they're going to come and really mess you up. So it's crucial to think through them and make decisions when you know, kabisa, deep inside my heart, I'm not seeing these little signs that are bothersome. There is peace within, and the way somebody does, we usually say, do not marry potential, marry patterns.
Yeah.
So what patterns do you see? And do those patterns point at somebody worth living with?
And to conclude, we're not saying that you're going to get a perfect partner. Those ones do not exist because we don't have perfect human beings. But it's good that you see that this person is on the right trajectory. Like you said, having the right patterns, because that is what's going to make your life. And really, the quality of your life is very dependent on the quality of your relationships. That is with your family, and most importantly, with the person you get married to. So if you want good life, choose right.
Kabisa. Remember, patterns don't lie.
Oh, yes.
Patterns don't lie. Those habits, do not ignore those.
The atomic habits.
All right, fantastic. So we'll leave it at that. Next week, we will be...
You'll be in the hot seat.
Yeah, we'll shift it to the ladies, because after you wrote that, I also wrote one on the 7 types
due to
of
public
women.
demand.
7 types of women to avoid. And so it will be an interesting discussion.
You don't want to miss that one.
See you next time.
See you.